Oh, hi, friends. Welcome to Life of Brian. My name's Brian. And this is my life. Welcome to this week's episode, where, as you saw in the title, I'm going to show some stuff that I've gotten recently from my collection, and I'm going to talk a little nostalgia, something that's, well, we can get into that later. First, I brought the white front-facing light out again, and you know, thought I'd put a little bit more light on me. I'm not completely over the shingles. Still got a couple scabs behind my ear, but for the most part, they're they're pretty gone. I mean, you can see some like red and pink spots where they were, but I mean, it's all now. It's just those things going away, and I hope they do. I don't know. Anyway, enough about that. So, I don't know if you can tell a difference over here. That's the That's my back window. I have another one that's right here, but this one, I don't know if you can tell, obviously the ace banner's down, but I hung some blackout curtains. I did that over the weekend. Um, I did it with the intention of hopefully making it a little bit darker in here to where the lighting that I use will work whenever. I won't have to wait for it to be dark at 9 o'clock. I can do it at whatever time. So today is Thursday, August 13th. Glad you're here. Happy Friday Eve. One more day, one more freaking day, y'all, and we're there. Oh, I do have, so that, let me show you my finger. That picture might look a little different. Well, let's take a field trip. Come on. Field trip, field trip. So I showed the solo ad. I think it was my last video, maybe one before, but I found a frame at Hobby Lobby, and there she is. Thankfully, it was pretty close. I think you can kind of tell on the wrong way. You can kind of tell on the width. It's a little bit wider, but the height was perfect. Let me give y'all a little more light for this. It was perfect fit. The border of the frame is a little wider than what I used on the solo albums. Those are all the same frame. This one's a little bit different, but whatever. And that's actual glass on there. I didn't know it till I got it home. I didn't even realize how heavy it was compared to other frames. But I'm super happy to have that on the wall. It looks a little small over there. Oh, and here's my blackout screens, or not screens, but curtains. I even bought wrong way. I even bought curtain rods and everything. They're a little too small. I think I got too snug on the size. I think I need to. The length is fine. I think I need to get them a little bit wider because you can still see the trim underneath it. But sorry for that spin. Ooh. Well, there goes the stuff I was going to show. Anyway, that's why I don't walk around anymore. So yeah, uh, hung the blackout curtains. I think I got them off Amazon. I think I'm going to do a round two on those, get a little wider one so they cover the window better. But I'm super happy to have that solo album post or ad up on the wall. What I was saying is I think it's a little small for that area. I don't know. I'm thinking of putting it over here where my end of the road poster is, swapping those because that poster used to be where the solo album ad is. I might swap those. I don't know. We'll see. That's that's some fun for another day. Um, so yeah, I'll show you some stuff that I've gotten. I've All of this stuff has been on Instagram. I don't know how many of you or any of you at all follow me on Instagram, so you've seen this stuff. You're about to see it again. Um, these things that I'm going to show, are from not Doc's Records and Vintage, where I usually go once a week. There's another record store here in Fort Worth that's called Born Light Records. Um, I love that store. It's smaller. The owner is a huge Kiss fan, which is good and bad. There's a lot of stuff in there, but he knows what he has, so it's kind of almost like seeing Slayer Forever Prices in person. Maybe not that bad, but pretty close. But I hadn't been in a while, and I went with the intention of looking for a specific CD, which I'll get into here in a little bit. But while I was in there, of course, and the guy that it's not the owner, but a guy that's in there almost every time I'm there, his name's John. He's a super cool guy. So last June, I went in there and I got, well, you can't see him, but I got Paul's solo album poster and then the smoking guitar poster that I have over here, the one that I got signed by Ace at the meet and greet last year. Those two I got from that store at the same time, and he made me a hell of a deal on them. That may be the last time I've been there before this past Saturday. Um, so, as I've said before, I'm trying to build the high school CD collection, and what that is something that I've adopted from Rick with "It's All for Your Demon," but it's those '80s, '85 to just the '80s CDs, which I found a couple that I needed, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Well, these probably aren't good. These probably aren't good um, examples, but I ended up getting Kiss Alive 3, and these that have this black edge here, these original CDs, those are the ones that I'm looking for. Now, the discs of a lot of them, like this one is actually kind of colored in. The disc on a lot of them is that this color on this side. Let me do this different. On this side with like black print. That's what we mean by high school version. I needed Alive 3, found it, and I also got Unplugged, which I know it's not really high school version, but it's in the same vein. I love this. I forgot how much I love this album, the whole thing, until I saw the video again for the first time in years. I watched it, I think, earlier this year. I know I've seen it years ago in the past. I don't remember why I kind of forgot about it. I love that. Uh, they do "See You Tonight" from Gene's solo album, which I love. I love that. I love the song on his solo album, but I love that live acoustic version. I think the best. Anyway, so I found those two. He had a couple other ones that I need, but I was trying to, you know, hold myself back. Well, I also found this just kind of randomly. The store, it's kind of hard to describe without visuals, but it's almost like an old house that they have the different rooms set up with different things. And towards the back of the shop, they have a whole room full of posters that are boarded and bagged, and some that are on walls. And then they have like a magazine rack of all kinds of various magazines, well, mixed in. And this was in a bag, but I took it out. It's the Destroyer songbook, which I don't know that I've ever seen outside of eBay. I was pretty stoked to find that. Not something that I was really looking for, but something that I'll definitely keep. Um, I mean, obviously, why am I going to buy it and not keep it? Whatever, you know what I mean. Uh, Made a Kiss Museum purchase. Xander from Kiss Army Things has done an amazing job with the reopening of the Kiss Museum this past year. Um, I've made, I don't know, a few purchases, maybe half a dozen, but this is the first one I made in a while. I look at the site all the time. This is my first purchase in a while, and it was to help my cassette collection because my cassettes as of right now starts with Alive. Well, now thanks to Xander and the Kiss Museum, I have the first three on cassette. Yeah, I was super stoked to see those, and he had them listed, you know, first album, then Hotter Than Hell and Dressed to Kill. It's when I scrolled through, oh, I need that one and that one and that one. So add to cart. So that was pretty awesome. Those came in I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. I think maybe yesterday, Tuesday or Wednesday. Anyway, so yeah, that was pretty awesome. Thank you, Xander. Man, the packaging was amazing and super fast shipping. So if you guys, for whatever reason, haven't been to the Kiss Museum, go give it a look, man. There's so much stuff on there and awesome pricing and things that you've either forgotten about or didn't know existed. So awesome. So that's it for the collection stuff. Minus, I did get one other CD at Born Late, which is kind of really the whole crux of this video. There's a picture of it on Instagram with the other two Kiss CDs in the songbook, and I've said sneak peek for this week's video. So, and this is why I went to that particular record store was in search of this CD. Um, well, I'll just go ahead and say it since I already put it online. Steve Vai's Passion and Warfare from 1990. 1990 was, and I'll show more of this as I go along with the video. 1990 was so really my birthday is August 27th. Yeah, it's coming up in a couple weeks. August 27th of 1990 was my first day of high school. High school down here for me was 10, 11, 12. Junior high, some people call it middle school, but mine was a junior high, was 7, 8, 9. So ninth grade, that was my third year of junior high. 1990, I started high school. Should have been should have been my junior year, but it was my sophomore year because for whatever reason I fell in love with seventh grade and wanted to do it again. Don't judge me. Whatever. I was 12. So anyway, August 27th, 1990 was my 16th birthday, my first day of first day of high school, and it was also the day that Stevie Ray Vaughan died. So that was just a weird day. Um, but I remember it may have been earlier that year, like my second semester of ninth grade. I remember getting this CD. I don't know how I knew about it. I don't know if somebody told me about it. I don't know. I know that I had guitar magazines, so maybe I saw it from there and knew about it, but I remember having that CD. And there's one particular song on this album, and I'm going to try to get this in frame for you. It's track number 13. It's the next to last song. It's called Sisters. And from the first time I heard that song, something about it stuck with me. Like emotionally, mentally, everything within me just I can't even now that I'm sitting here in front of you guys. I can't even really describe it. It was almost like an emotional takeover when I heard that song. And I can tell you, 36 years later, it still does that. I had a I have a boombox that I found at an estate sale last year that has a CD player in it. I set it up to intentionally play some snippets of that song. I had it over here, that's why I'm pointing it over there. But when I went to play the CD, it said error. So I don't know. I've never used that thing, never used the CD player in it. So those of you that haven't heard it, I know you can find it on Apple Music. I'm sure it's on Spotify, but I am an Apple Music guy and it's on there because it's in my library. And it's been my so my I use the alarm on the phone every day when I wake up. And that song Sisters by Steve Vai is my that's what I wake up to. And I know you probably hear, the name Steve Vai and you just think the crazy guitar playing and blah blah blah. That's true. But this one is probably the most mellow song of his that I've ever heard. And man, I just can't describe the feelings I get when I hear it. But the whole reason why I wanted to do this, and this kind of encapsulates what's been going on with me in the last couple of weeks. I gave an update on me last week that, the shingles that I've had for 2 to 3 weeks are just about gone, and they're even, more gone now. I still have just some residual scabbing on the back of my ear, which is annoying, but for the most part, it's pretty much done. Um, so I was coming out from under the dark cloud last week. Last week's video, last Thursday, was a good. It was positive, and I was looking forward to Friday because there was hopes that I was in a car accident with a couple days of getting shingles. So last Friday, a week ago tomorrow, I was at work and I got so I don't know that I've even shared this. So I'm on the cusp of starting a new job. If I've shared this, sorry that I'm repeating myself, but I had an interview last week, in-person interview. 2 days later, I guess now it was the next day, I got a phone call, verbal offer. Excuse me, offer. And they said you'll get a, written offer email in a day or two, which was what I was waiting on because I needed to show that to present to my boss to put in my notice. Well, if I finally got it Friday afternoon, which, my boss and the other bosses were gone by the time I got it, whatever. So save that for Monday morning. About an hour later, I get a call from the shop that had my car, and they said, "Hey, your car's ready. You can come get it." So after work, I drove the rental car over to the shop, got my car, and from where that shop was to my apartment was probably about a 45-minute drive. 45 minutes, Friday afternoon. Um, I got in the car, drove out of the parking lot of the body shop, and I don't even know, it was all kind of surreal. I got probably 5 minutes down the road. I know the radio was on, but I don't know what was playing. But I just started thinking about everything and the way things worked out in the matter of a couple weeks. Not only were the shingles going away, I was in my car driving home. I was a couple hours removed from receiving an offer letter on a new job, something that I've wanted for a handful of years now to get out of what I'm doing now. And in that moment, I got so overcome. It's not, I got just filled with gratitude. I just started getting I was so thankful all at the same moment for all these things. And I got so overcome and overwhelmed with that gratitude that I just broke down in my car. I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm a crier, and I can cry to music. I can cry to movies. I'm a crier. I'm not ashamed to admit it. And I was crying. I didn't pull over or anything, but I don't know how kept driving. Probably not painting myself in the best light here, but it's whatever. I don't care. I'm all about transparency here and just sharing with you guys. And I just, yeah, was just verbally to myself, just celebrating the moment and just saying everything out loud that was good, that was happening, that had happened to me. And when I calmed down and I went, because I have Sirius satellite radio in my car that I usually listen to. But I switched over to my CarPlay, my Apple Music, and I always shuffle. I always shuffle just because I like it random like that. It go from Kiss to Blink 182 to Fleetwood Mac to what's his name, Christopher Cross. Yeah, I do have yacht rock in my music library. Well, I hit shuffle, and the first song to play, I kid you not, was "Sisters" by Steve Vai. And yeah, you could say, you can figure those odds out. However many songs I have, it is a possibility. But just for the fact of what that song means to me, that song. So go a little bit back on the nostalgia for this song. I said it was 1990. That's when that CD came out, and I don't know if I got it right away, but it's pretty close. So from 1990 on, all through my high school years, that particular song got me through dealing with bullies at school. And I don't want to make it sound like I was bullied. I mean, it was occasional things, but it's stuff that I still had to deal with. Getting picked on at school, the 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 girlfriends that you would break up with or that would break up with you that at the time felt like the world was ending. uh Parents getting on to you for this, that, or the other thing. You name it. The things that you go through as a teenager, because you're learning and everything's sort of huge. You're dealing with all of this, and it seems like it's coming at you all at once. That song got me through so much in high school and into my adult life. Um, I moved to Arizona after high school because that's where my dad was living. My brother was there. I don't talk about my brother much, and it's not because I don't love him, but it's just doesn't really come up in Kiss videos. But he was 3 years younger than me. He was born with cerebral palsy, was 100% dependent, couldn't walk, talk, whatever. So when I was living here, I would get to visit about once a year for a holiday or whatever. Well, I moved out there just on a whim. I moved out there after high school and I got exactly, well, almost a year to the day with him before he passed away. When he was born, the doctor said he wouldn't live past 2, and he almost made 17. And I'm not saying all this to be a downer, just telling you about my life and just a little bit behind the scenes for me. And I still love my brother. I love my brother so much. He passed away in 94. So it's been 32 years since he's been gone, and there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about him. That song Sisters helped me get kind of back to normal after he passed. And with him, it's not like we knew it was coming, but we knew it was inevitable. Not that that really makes it easier, because once they're gone, it sucks regardless of how they go or what they had. It got me through that. It got me through losing my grandpa, my mom's dad, who was my buddy from my earliest memories. Um, he spent his last, I don't know, 6 months or so in a nursing home, and it was hard. It was hard seeing him, that way. That's not at all how I remembered him. He just lost weight, withered away. Anyway, that song's gotten me through deaths of loved ones. It's gotten me through. I've been married and divorced twice. That song has been my reset. I did a video a while ago talking about Kiss was one of my escapes. That song has been my number one escape for 36 years. And we're all music people here in one form or another. It's, kind of it's what brings us all together. Whether it's Kiss, you name the band, you name the music, we all have some attachment or love for music. That's what brings us all here. It's what brings us together. That's what bonds us. It's the love of that music and the love of the creators of that music. And I know that I'm not the only one, so I'm not saying I'm this special person, but the way I relate to music, I think, is different than just the casual music listener. Music's something that you can lose yourself in, and you can find yourself in it. Whatever you want, whatever you need at any given moment, music can help you get there, can help you find it. And I take full advantage of that in every way, at every moment that I can. I've always been that way. I I get emotional with music. Some people will get goosebumps or just, some warm feeling or something like that. Mine's an emotional thing. Mine, yeah, obviously I said I'm a crier. So I'll do that on occasion with music, not just Sisters by Steve Vai, but other things. And there's certain songs like that one that, I can listen to it on any random day and I'm good. But if there's something that I need to work through or something that's going on, I'll listen to that in a whole different light and it wrecks me. I don't know if any of you have a song or an album or something like that that does that for you, but that song has always done that for me. So having that moment Friday night on the way home with that song in the car, that set this whole video and me going to that record store Saturday to look for that CD in motion. I had to have this thing again. I don't know why I haven't had it all along up until now, but just having this in my possession again, it's almost just like having it back in 1990 when I'm ready to start high school. I'm on the verge. Today's what I say, August 13th. I'm a little less than 2 weeks away from starting a brand new job, something that I've never done. This song I know is going to help me through that again. The cool thing about this, not to, keep this thing being a downer video, which I don't mean it to be, I'm just sharing me. Y'all can take it for how you want to. I'm just being open and peeling the curtain back. There is something cool in here I want you to check out. Here's the disc, kind of the same coloration as on the cover of the booklet, but the whole CD liner or the liner liner notes fold out. Sorry for all that noise. I just realized I was holding the mic down there. So a little poster of Steve with his guitar. I don't know. Man, I wish I could remember a lot more details when I was in freaking high school. I would want to say that I probably hung this on the wall when I was in high school when I had this originally. Seems like something I would do. I don't know. Also, seem like the person that would keep it inside the inside the case. I don't know. I can't remember. But Yeah, so I had to have that CD, and actually, I even went on to eBay and I found the cassette. I've got this the cassette coming in a few days. I think I'll have it Monday, I think is what the thing said. But don't, it's funny. I found the vinyl on eBay too, but I unwatched it because I'm not that I'm done with vinyl, but unless it's a specific bootleg that I just can't say no to. And I'm looking forward to whatever Kiss Online does with Rock and Roll Over later this year. And obviously, Dynasty, Unmask the Elder, those things, how, different pressings or whatever. But I don't know that there's a vinyl that I'm actually going to seek out, at least in the immediate future. CDs and cassettes is where it's at for me right now. And really, the cassettes is finishing the Kiss discography. Once I get that, I don't know. Again, it may be a different version of a cassette. Anyway, don't mean to ramble, but yeah, this CD for me, people will use that term. It saved my life. And I don't know that I'll go that hard with it, but it was definitely a life changer. It's 100% a life changer for me. And there's other songs on that CD on that album that I also have in my music library and on Apple Music. It's not just Sisters, the one that this whole video is about. There's other songs that I like too, but that one, if I bought that CD back then, not knowing anything about it, and only heard Sisters and only bought it for Sisters, that would be enough for me, even 36 years later. I love the feeling that that song gives me, regardless of where my life's at any given moment when I hear it, or whatever's going on, what's not going on. Because if everything's fine, I still get a good vibe from that song. But when shit's hitting the fan and it feels like the walls are closing in, I need that song. I need that song. I'm gonna get gonna get emotional now talking about it. That's just how much that song means to me and what I feel when I hear it. And it doesn't take much. It's a very simple intro, um, and it just keeps a mellow tune and tone and tempo through the whole thing. I can't remember how long it is. Just barely over 4 minutes. I love it. I could go on and on and on. I don't want to drag this video on any longer. If you want to do something for me besides the whole like, subscribe, and comment, this one video only, I'll put all of that aside if you guys will give that song a try. You'll search it on whatever you find music on. Spotify, I'm sure, has it. I don't know. I'm not on there, but Apple Music does for sure. I know. Or if you want to buy a physical copy, I found this CD for $7.99. Whatever. Just please, if you get the opportunity, look for Sisters by Steve Vai. The name of that album is Passion and Warfare. I would really like to know what you guys think about it. You may not get it. It may not hit you like it hits me, and that's fine. Listen to the whole album. There's killer songs on there, but this one in particular, I would really like to hear everybody's feedback on it, because that's what we do here. We share things. We share feelings. We share collectible stuff. We share thoughts. We share everything. Well, at least I do. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening to me ramble on and on about this. Feel like I just ramble every video, but I appreciate you guys so much. And again, like I said, I'm not going to, You can comment on here. Like I say, leave me a comment, please. But I want to know comments about Steve Vai and Sisters off of Passion and Warfare. If you've heard it, if you haven't heard it, if you look for it now because I'm asking you to, let me know your thoughts on it. Please be honest. If you don't like it, tell me you don't like it. I want to know everybody's thoughts because I know we got a lot of music lovers here, and I'd like to know y'all's opinion on it. It's not going to change my opinion one way or another. I love that song. I will always love that song. It's always going to be my go-to. I need to get in the feels, or I need to not feel anything, whichever. That's that's my song, and I would love to know y'all's song, and I'd love to know what you think about that one. Um, I was glad to add the Destroyer songbook. The only other I think I have Rock and Roll Over, and I have version 2 of the uh, Dynasty book. Actually, yeah, version 2. Anyway, tell me what's going on with y'all's lives. Tell me what's happening. We're getting here to, I know back to school's happening here for, a bunch of school districts. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Uh, Let me know if y'all do. I know it affects my drive home because of school zones. Football season's coming. I know I think there's an NFL preseason game on tonight, but college football is where my heart is. I've talked to Scott FL Dog. We've had a couple small discussions about upcoming college football season. I am itching for that. Spooky season, obviously. Today's the 13th, so not this Saturday, the 15th, but the next Saturday, the 22nd, is when my daughter comes in. So the week after that is actually when I'm going to start my new job. So I will do a video that week with her. Like I said, we're going to put the tree up back there in the corner. Don't know what day or what time of day. It may not be a night video because I work nights, or I will be working nights. So anyway, just talking ahead for what you can look forward to, what I'm looking forward to. Um, Let me know all the things with you. Let me know what's going on. Let me know. Let me know if I can send some positive vibes and juju and positive thoughts your way, because I know everybody's going through something that's of some level at any given moment. And we're here for each other, and I want to be here for all of you. I love all of you. Thank you again for coming by tonight and listening to all of this. Please let me know what you think about that song. Until next week, happy hunting, y'all, and remember to have fun.